What happens when you spend your whole life performing different selves in different situations? And I am specifically talking about Asian Americans who grew up between a collective culture and an individualistic culture. You see, at home, you're operating under one system, and in public, you're operating under another system. And depending on how big the gap between those two worlds, the gap inside of you can also become enormously big. People might say, so this is about code switching. Well, Singaporeans code switch as well. They speak Singlish with each other, and then when they're presenting to Americans, they'll switch to a more polished Western-faced version of themselves. But they know I'm Singaporean, I'm putting on a different mask for a different audience. However, for Asian Americans, the split between your public self and your private self happens in the actual society you live in. And that's why it becomes even more dangerous, because you don't even know you're putting on a mask anymore. You think this is just who I am. But what happens is that the self never really forms. You grew up as one version around your Asian family and community, then another version around Western spaces. And over time, you don't have one steady self making decisions. You have different selves making different decisions depending on who is watching. For example, you choose a career that is safe because you are making the decision from the Asian self. But the Western self that wants freedom, creativity, desire, individuality keeps showing up to remind you that she or he is not happy with it. And this is why people choose safe lives, but also secretly resent them, because the person who makes lifelong decisions needs a continuous set of values to act from. So if the person never forms, your life becomes fragmented. So it does not matter which decision you make. If it comes from a fragmented identity, some part of you is always going to feel betrayed. This is why people can have the good job, the good partner, the good life on paper, and still feel like half of them is suffocating. So the real question is, are you making decisions from your whole self? I'm Crystal. I map the mechanisms you can see. Follow me to take your agency back.